We often hear that opportunity is just about luck, right? Like it's just about being in the right place at the right time. Well, actually, scratch that. It's not. It is the direct result of continuous, compounding preparation. Today, we're going to unpack the mechanics of personal transformation through this absolutely incredible story of a guy named Liam. We'll examine exactly how someone shifts from being completely stuck in life to stepping right into a position of leadership.
So picture the daily scene at Platform 7. You've got thousands of passengers constantly arriving and departing, carrying these expensive suitcases and chasing their big ambitions. It's just constant forward motion. But amidst all that incredible momentum, our protagonist, Liam, well, he remained entirely still. Day in and day out, he swept the platforms, watching everyone else board trains toward these exciting new destinations while his own life remained completely stagnant.
That brings us to part one, stuck at platform 7, when survival pauses your dreams. 5 whole years. That is exactly how long Liam spent trapped in what was supposed to be a temporary gig. As a teenager, he had these massive ambitions to leave his hometown, to really elevate his family. But when severe financial hardship hit, those opportunities just vanished. Instead of chasing a grand future, he had to chase basic survival. And that resulted in 5 agonizing years of standing perfectly still.
But then comes part 2, the catalyst for change. The man with the red suitcase.
Okay, so every single morning, Liam noticed this really confident businessman carrying a red suitcase. Finally, one day, curiosity just completely won out, and Liam asked him where he traveled every week. The man simply smiled and said, "Everywhere." When Liam joked that it must be nice, the businessman delivered this absolutely piercing question. He looked at him and said, "What are you doing to get where you want to go?" It was a conversation that lasted maybe 2 minutes, but it forced a massive mindset shift. Liam realized he had to stop being a passive observer and start actively preparing. So he claimed this ignored, beat-up wooden bench near Platform 7 and literally turned it into his personal classroom. He started incredibly small, just 10 minutes of reading on his lunch break. But look at how this scales. Step 1, books became habits. Step 2, those daily habits solidified into unbreakable routines. And step 3, those routines compounded into total transformation. He stopped complaining about his circumstances and started actually engineering his future. Of course, growth is never linear. That leads us to part 3, the year of failure, when action meets resistance.
And let me tell you, the year following his new routine was brutal. Absolutely brutal. Armed with this newfound ambition, Liam started applying for multiple opportunities. The result? Total failure. He faced a constant, heavy stream of rejection that bred crippling self-doubt. In those really dark moments, he genuinely wondered if his peers were right, that maybe dreams actually just belonged to other people. But despite the heavy resistance, a quiet voice inside told him to just keep going.
Which brings us to the turning point in part 4, the value mindset. The shift from status to utility. Right when that doubt reached its absolute peak, Liam ended up helping an elderly woman who had missed her train on a really rainy evening. He arranged her transport, handled her bags, and stayed with her until she was safe. Before parting ways, she left him with this profound realization. The world rewards people who solve problems. Boom. Total light bulb moment. Success wasn't about securing a fancy title. It was about becoming incredibly useful. From that day forward, Liam's focus shifted entirely toward utility. Instead of just wanting a better job, he systematically acquired tangible tools. We're talking communication, problem solving, leadership, technology, and time management. He focused entirely on building internal value. And this proves a universal truth, right? Lasting external results only ever materialize after intense internal change. And that perfectly sets up part 5, catching the train, when preparation meets opportunity. 3 years down the line, the railway company unexpectedly announces a brand new management trainee program. The odds here were incredibly daunting. Liam was up against hundreds of applicants with far stronger backgrounds, pristine resumes, and superior formal qualifications. He was a platform cleaner, armed only with years of self-guided study. The intimidation almost stopped him. But then he remembered a simple truth. A train never moves unless someone actually steps on board. So he applied anyway. A few weeks later, the phone actually rings. That call led to an interview, which led to another and another. Finally, the impossible happened. He secured an offer. Now, the transition into management brought a brutally steep learning curve, but Liam was ready. Why? Because while the other candidates had spent months preparing for an interview, Liam had spent years preparing for the role. Every single hour on that wooden bench compounded to create this exact moment. Fast forward a few years, and Liam stood on Platform 7 not as a cleaner, but as a leader. The station was identical, the same trains, the same crowds, even that same wooden bench. But his perspective had completely transformed. He realized that the station was never a prison holding him back. It was his preparation ground. The platform wasn't where his story ended. It was exactly where it started.
So, what does this all mean for us? If your daily routine feels repetitive and you feel stuck watching everyone else move forward right now, remember Liam's framework. Standing still today doesn't mean you're anchored there forever. But opportunity rarely rescues those who just wait around. It aligns with those who prepare, who learn, and who build internal value in the dark. So I leave you with this question. Are you actively preparing for when your train arrives? Your journey doesn't start when the doors open. It starts with the work you put in right now.